Parshat Vayera is one of those moments in the Torah where Avram really comes to life, not just as a biblical patriarch, but as a deeply human being. You see, we're not into saints. We don't believe that you have to be perfect in order to be part of our heritage. We're good, warts and all. Picture this. Avram's just had 3 guests. Angels or messengers. He's not exactly sure what they are, and the Torah tells us after Avram's already given them to eat and has already made sure that they wash their feet so that they're clean from the way, they're ready to go, and what does he do? The men set out from there and looked down towards Sodom, and Avram walked with them to see them off. Now, it doesn't sound like a huge deal, right? He's just walking them out the door, or maybe down the path a little. But first of all, let's remember that he's pretty soon post-surgery. That's just one of it. And in addition, the Shadal says that Avram walked a short distance with them, not because of custom, but to show that their company was dear to him. It's about honor, respect, and connection. Whoever the people are that are coming to you, it's a basic human courtesy to walk them out. Avram reminds us that holiness isn't only in the big moments of faith, it's also in the small acts of kindness. But just as he walks them out, the tone shifts. God decides that he needs to consult with Avram before he wipes out Sodom and Gomorrah, those 2 places where humanity has just gone to waste. Now, Avram doesn't just accept this news that God's going to wipe out the 2 cities. His entire relationship with God takes on a new meaning. Instead of bowing his head and saying, I understand, it's your decision, he steps up and says, Chalila lecha me'asot davar kazeh. Hashofet kol haaretz lo yaseh mishpat. Far be it from you to do such a thing, to bring death upon the innocent as well as the guilty. Shall the judge of all the earth not act justly? Is this the way we talk to God? Is this the way that we talk to our betters? On the one hand, we give basic respect and honor to those who are coming to our house. On the other hand, we're having a full-on argument with God. This is a powerful moment. Avram, the man of faith, argues with God for the sake of justice. Rabbi Avram Azulai in Baalei Brit Avram says that God shared his plan with Avraham because Avram had been chosen as the father of many nations, of all people. Azulai writes that Avram's merit and moral voice benefit the entire world, so God includes him in this decision. It's part of his covenantal responsibility. So Avram's not being rebellious here, he's being responsible. He understands that faith sometimes demands moral courage, even when that means questioning God. It's the same idea we find later in the Talmud in Shabbat 54b, when a person can protest the wrongdoing of their household or their city or their world, and doesn't, they're held accountable. Silence in our tradition is never neutral. And yet, just a few chapters later, we see Avram in an entirely different position. Sarah demands that Hagar and Ishmael be sent away. She has seen him inappropriate. She has seen him influencing her son. And what does Avram do? So first, the Torah says, Vayera davar me'od be'enei Avraham al odot beno. The matter was very distressing to Avram because of his son. You hear this heartbreak in Avram. You hear that he's disturbed by this. But this time, God says, Kol asher tomar elecha Sarah shma b'kola. Whatever Sarah tells you, listen to her. And Avram does. No argument, no bargaining, just outright obedience. What's fascinating is how different these 2 moments are. He argues with God over the fact of strangers in Sodom, but stays silent over his own family. Ramban Nachmanides sheds some light on this. In his commentary on the Akedah, the binding of Isaac, he says that the purpose of divine tests is to bring a person's potential into action. That faith isn't just about what we believe in our hearts, but how we act in the world. Sometimes we're called to speak up, and other times we're meant to hold our peace. Avram sends Hagar and Ishmael away, but he still acts with compassion. The Torah notes that he gives them food and water and basic needs. He sends them off. He's heartbroken, but he understands that this is something he needs to do He will do whatever he can to make it as smooth as possible. He doesn't abandon them completely. It's a moment almost of hishtadlut, of doing what's humanly possible while trusting that God will do the rest. And indeed, when Hagar and Ishmael's water runs out in the desert, and Hagar goes into a depression, she can't even look at her son, she turns her back on her son, it says, Vayishma Elohim et kol hana'ar, and God heard the voice of the boy. It's a deeply emotional picture. God still hears the cry of the child, even though Hagar is turned away. There's this give and take between God and our interactions. Throughout all this, Avram is not a man of black and white certainties, just like we're not. He avoids conflict when possible, like with Lot's shepherds, where he just said, okay, you go one way and I'll go another. But then when his nephew was captured in war, he steps up and goes to attack the 4 kings who are attacking those 5 kings. He fights for them against all these kings that are obviously more equipped and stronger than himself. Avram's greatness is in his ability to know when to act, when to argue, and when to trust, and when to love. The Parsha closes the story of Sodom with one quiet line, Vayashav Avraham limkomo, and Avram returned to his place. It's a little haunting if you think about it. He returns, but as my friend Neshama says, it's a new normal. It's not the same place. He returns to his place that has somehow evolved. He's wrestled with morality and faith, love and loss, and with this, the loss of his wife as well. And maybe that's the point. To walk in Avram's path is to do both, to stand before God and humanity at once, to speak up when justice demands it, and to trust when faith requires it. That balance between courage and humility, protest and obedience, that's the beating heart of our tradition. So the question for us is this: when are we called to be like Avraham, standing before Sodom, using our voices for what's right? And when are we called to be like Avraham, listening to Sarah, quiet, receptive, and willing to trust? Because living as Avraham did not mean choosing one over the other. It means holding both, the faith to act and the faith to yield. That's the legacy of Avraham Avinu and the challenge we all continue to inherit.